Skoda is certainly taking their time to enter the sub 4 meter SUV party, but they're coming in with a bang. Indians have decided the name of this SUV as the Skoda Kylaq, and to talk more about this, we have Petr Janeba, the brand director of Skoda India. Peter, thank you for joining us on CNBC TV 18 as well as Overdrive. You're beaming. Is this the name that you were banking on as well?
Thank you very much for inviting. Pleasure is all mine. It is from today the most favorite name which I had, but until yesterday I was thinking about a different one. It was very secret. Nobody knew what the name is coming out. But the Indians embrace Kylaq as the most as the name number one.
But it is a very bold move to have Indian consumers decide the name of a SUV which is coming out for the market. But is it something that you will see going forward as well? You know, will it become a norm in the future?
Okay, this car is a very special car. I mean, the sub 4 meter segment in India is a very special segment, which has as well its advantages and its local regulation, which in other countries is not so much valid. We don't disclose to export this car, and we are planning to export this car, but we so far did not prepare these cars in the left-hand drive version. So we are still continuing for the left-hand drive market to export our current Kylaq and Slavia. But for the right-hand drive markets, even Kylaq would be then accessible. But first we serve our customers here in India, and if we still have enough, then we export.
What is the timeline, the launch timeline? Will we be seeing it pretty soon? Will booking start pretty soon?
So there are some steps still to come. As we said, we have started our journey like countdown 1 year before in February. So that means in February we will have everything in place. New dealership and as well current dealership with all our current people well trained and understanding all the customer needs. At the same point of time, we will be ramping up the production already starting from the end of this year. So February is everything up and running. You can test drive the car and you can find out yourself whether it is the best car in the segment or second best car in the segment or whatever place it will be.
Before?
And there are a lot of things expected before. We have to make a worldwide premiere. Which will be done again in India because it's our car here, but we still call it worldwide premiere because the car will be as well exported and everywhere will be named Kylaq all around the world. So and there are a lot of other engagement topics, including announcing of the price and start of booking, but please allow us to keep still some small secrets until it's coming.
So it is a price sensitive market, so how do you plan to deal with that competition?
We are aware what means for Indians to be price sensitive. We understand that Skoda has its values and we don't make compromises. We don't make compromises on safety. We don't make compromises on quality. But at the same point of time, price is number one in this segment. And we are aware and we can say this car will be a very price competitive car, probably the most price competitive car in our current range.
How are you going to differentiate it in terms of a product from the rivals that we already see, considering it's taken so long for Skoda to enter this space?
Yeah, I mean, the decision to enter this segment was not very easy because, as I said, export potential is limited because people would still buy a bigger car, very probably. At the same point of time, once you want to grow, and we want to grow in India, and one day, and this is for us a true enabler on our mission, one day we have to cross 1 lakh cars being sold a year, and this is the car. So
that's your projection? That's what you're looking at?
We are targeting a lot of numbers, some of them even more ambitious, but considering that in the past, when we have been only dealing with parts and components in our Aurangabad Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar plant, so at that time, 5 years took us to sell 1 lakh car. When we started our Slavia and Kylaq, it took us 2 years to sell 1 lakh car, and now with this car, it should be 1 year. So we are going faster.
What do you think has changed in all these years? Do you think the perception of customers for the Skoda brand has changed for you to have such optimistic projections?
I think what has really changed is the focus of Skoda on India. We were always here like at home because we are 24 years on the market, but we were here like at home still on a very niche market, like covering 20% of a potential market. Now with this car we will finally cover 85% at least, and this is a big responsibility, and this is a big breakthrough, because in the end of the day what will happen today, there are probably a lot of potential customers for Slavia and Kylaq in the tier 3, tier 4 level cities, but we don't have our dealers there because the business case for them, the feasibility would not be working with them. There is a very low car park of Skoda and the sales will be very limited. With this car we can finally set up a dealership coming closer to our customers and cover the whole India, what will help the whole brand elevate not only this car but thanks to Kylaq.
Right, so you did touch upon the tier 3 and tier 4 cities that you're planning to penetrate to. So what I want to understand from you is what are the cities that you're looking at, and also how do you plan to increase the number of dealerships as well as service touch points? How many in terms of numbers?
Okay, so very good question. About the concrete cities I cannot tell you, but we will have 100% coverage of tier 3 cities and we are looking even to tier 4 cities. So this is, but it will go step by step. So first we establish the sales, but immediately we follow up with after sales, because we understand that proximity of the touch point, especially for after sales, is very important by the sales decision in the regions. More than 350 touch points during next year is our target to achieve. So it means that we have to expand more than 100 touch points from now.
And that is in the tier 3 and tier 4 cities?
Not only, but mainly, yes.
Okay, okay. Talking about moving ahead, of course, the 1 litre and 1.5 litre are doing really well in India, but is there a possibility of having an affordable EV in the market, or even, you know, considering a hybrid powertrain from Skoda in India?
Oh, so good question. So we are definitely coming with the EV. I mean, we are quite successful with our EV cars in Europe, and we will bring 6 EVs globally within the next 3 years. However, in India, all these EVs, and probably not all of them, but half of them, will be only brought in as a CBUs or parts and components car. For being competitive in the EV market, as is the expectation of the customers, we need to go for a local, deeply localized product. And in order to understand what is right, so is a hybrid still intermediate solution? We don't think so. But if from the government regulation, it would come up as a solution number 1, we are ready to invest even there. However, EV is our preferred solution because we have a lot of EV expertise from Europe, as well from China, from our own companies and as well joint ventures. So we are looking for the best possible solution here. But again, there are still some things missing in the puzzle which are related to the FAME 3, which should be hopefully announced in the end of this year, and then we take a final call.
Okay, so no affordable EV yet, just to get that clear. Not yet.
Definitely within the next 3 years. How fast depends on the regulation.
Okay. What are your thoughts on the social media chatter about Skoda rethinking their plans for India? I know that you're coming up with a new product.
Rethinking in what sense? You mean leaving India? Or yeah, I have heard such a rumors. I mean, I like very much all media, but we know what it is about. I mean, you sometimes need a headline which makes the people curious, and then everything what you write is true, but the headline is a catchy one. But people like sensations, nah? So after several brands has left, and some of them, I don't need to name them, are coming back, because nobody can ignore India being the market number 3 in the world, overtaking Japan last year. I mean, this is something what none of the manufacturers in the world can ignore. And the only thing is, what kind of product portfolio and on what price levels, and how can I manufacture the cars locally, because I think government makes a very smart moves in the direction that a lot of work and part of the industry and GDP would be done here. Okay. And the question is, you need some level of the investment and bold statement. I mean, we are here 24 years. There is absolutely no reason, because of the potential of the market, that we would leave the market. On contrary, after we close our operations in Russia on 22, India is becoming our out of Europe market number one, for Skoda.
All right, thank you so much, and congratulations once again on the name. It's pretty cool.
Thank you very much. We are very happy you like it.